POPs have a lot of health effects, and the effects are not positive, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
And negative. One of them is that they are carcinogenic in nature.
Yep.
If I say something's carcinogenic, it's cancer causing. Cancer is one of the top killing or killer diseases we have now today.
Yeah.
And we also have reproductive issues.
And there are many these days, by the way, as you have highlighted.
Yeah. POPs can actually affect your reproductive system as a man, as a woman.
Yeah.
Sperm formation, such things. Yeah. Reproductive health, they can impact it.
Yeah. Then
the major one, which I will go with, is endocrine disrupting chemicals. They disrupt the endocrine system.
Now someone may not know what is endocrine. So help them, give them a simple term, a simple explanation of what that means.
I'm coming to that. So what is the endocrine system? Some of you are from biology class, so I have to take you back to class again. But when I talk of the endocrine system, it's simply a system of your organs and glands in the body. It's part of the coordination system in your body. Now, the endocrine system is just a mixture of organs and glands. Now, endocrine means coordination. In your body, coordination occurs in two forms. Through electrical messages, that's through your nerves. Where the nerves are everywhere in your body. So if I'm to touch you, you'll feel that he's touching me. If I'm to get something hot, you feel that he's hot. But what time does it take for you to know that something's hot? It's an electrical message. Then there are also chemical messages, which are produced by glands. Chemical messages, which are produced by the glands, are to go and inform a certain activity to be done, or a response to a certain stimulus. So, how do POPs come in to affect this message? Now, when I talk of endocrine disrupting, and I've talked of chemical messages, which are hormones. Glands produce hormones in your body. The adrenal gland, the thyroid gland, even there's some gastric glands, the islets of Langerhans in the pancreas, which play a very key role in your life, your everyday life. Now, imagine a situation where these chemicals are not being produced in your body. These chemical messages.
Now, really understand.
You may not die. You can die, actually. Paralysis of the nerves endings is actually much better than actually disruption of the endocrine system. So you'd really rather not move, and I be here, you carry me away, you feed me. But the endocrine one is quite different. Because if the thyroid gland is not producing the growth hormone, you will remain stunted.
You will not live this.
I'm sure you've seen poor dwarfs. Short. Somebody is aged 23 years, but he's actually, 3 feet. I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to insult anyone or your audience or anybody, but these are some of the issues that come up over time. Because the glands which are supposed to produce hormones are not producing the real hormones.
Indeed.
Now, POPs are chemical messages. They either interfere with synthesis of these hormones from the glands, or they interfere with the receptor cells. When these chemical messages are produced by the glands, they have to go to the reception site on the organs. Because these are chemical messages. It's maybe you have eaten food. The very first thing is that your brain is going to tell the salivary glands to produce saliva to digest the food. But now, if a POP has interfered with the production of saliva, you will not digest it. That's how it goes. Because they have interfered with the production of these chemicals, or they have gone and interfered with the receptor cells that actually receive these chemicals because they are messages. Now, there's also food chain contamination. These chemicals have majorly 3 properties that make them really bad. Persistent. Then the other things that they like the fat tissue. Under your skin, there's what they call that tissue. They're actually lipophilic. They like fats a lot. That's where they go and store themselves. Now, how do these chemicals affect your health? How do they kill you? If they've found their way into the food chain, that's food chain contamination. whatever you are eating, whatever I'm eating now, I'm going to accumulate them in my fat tissue over time.
Yes.
Because they don't break down. They are persistent in nature. They don't break down. So they're going to accumulate in my body till they reach that concentration to what? To kill me.
Yeah.
You know? Because they don't break down.
Yes.
They don't undergo chemical breakdown, physical, or even biological breakdown in nature. So that's their property. They also, in the food chain, they have that property of biomagnification at every trophic level. You know, if you did some ecology, you have what we call producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary, and to the decomposers.
Yes.
For us humans, we are somewhere between the primary consumers, secondary, we are there. We are confused where we fall, the trophic level.
Yeah.
And remember, we don't make our own food. We either have to eat the plants or animals.
Yeah.
I've just eaten chicken, by the way, for information. I don't know how much pops the chicken had. But that's how we get them. And the higher you are in the food chain, the more you are at risk. Yeah. Because it has built up. The pops biomagnify over.
Yeah, from the grasses to the chicken, from the chicken down to meat.
In the environment, these plants will absorb these chemicals. You know, they have to suck nutrients out of the soil because for you release them by burning.
Yes. Yeah.
And in burning, given by the way, you know, this conversation, I don't know, you limited me to only this time, but we have elements in nature. That's air, water, land, and even sometimes residue, which are artificial elements. So when you burn your wets on land, normally these pops will find their way into water and air we breathe. And that's how they really get into our body. Because the water you drink, that's why water treatment is so crucial. That is the way how these chemicals can really get into the food, into your body. You may ask yourself, you may think you are actually safe.
Yeah.
You're not.
To come and bite you one day.
So really health, that's really how it affects. They first have find their way into your body, build up over time, then start working on your endocrine system, they work on your reproductive system. You have seen people who give birth to kids who are deformed, who are lame, all that. Those are some of the, except the heavy metal poisoning. Yeah. And most of the people who are at risk are the mothers and children, infants. Yeah, those are the people who are really affected by these chemicals. Now, lastly, you asked healthy effects, but also environmental effects, which are also detrimental. Now, these are also known for long-range transport. These pops here, generally, not only the UPOPs.
The UPOPs,
They are semi-volatile in that they can easily vaporize from either solid or liquid form to vapor. And then that's how they find their way over the long air currents to remote areas. I don't know why poor people suffer a lot. Because I don't know who is bad. You know, everything which is bad comes to you. Yeah, you've never even done these activities.
Yeah, by the way.
You find that a pop released in the USA is going to come and affect my man in Mbali.
Yeah,
where,
because of the currents that moved it all the way across the sea.
Normally, the transport comes in because they are released from hotter areas and then they like condensing. It's like atmospheric distillation.
Yes.
If you ever heard of that process, vaporize it, then condense it somewhere.
Yeah.
So normally the cool areas around the globe normally have higher concentrations of these chemicals.
Yes.
Yeah, despite the air currents.
No wonder, by the way, talking about that, you hear that they are being found in boyas, which are in the Antarctic and all these other places.
Yeah, they affected those animals.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, what wrong did a polar bear do?
Yeah.
Or a seal?
Yeah.
That mammal. What wrong did they do?
Nothing. Just because me, I'm a human who's not being cautious, I'm leading to this. Maybe as we are ending, talk about more about the policies that maybe are in place, and maybe that you could advise maybe any policy maker out there to think about in their different industries or line of work. Then after you conclude with the general advice, and we let these people think about the information I've been giving them.
Now in Uganda, policies are there, they exist, we have them very well polished, but enforcement and actually supporting them financially is lacking.
Yes.
Enforcement is lacking. We have the National Environment Act, we have the National Waste Management 2020. All these are there to address chemical management.
Yes.
And maybe try to reduce those that are released unintentionally. They are there, but what is lacking, that's a gap also, enforcement and actually
the funding to lead them
to support the activities or initiatives that can really promote the initiative set by the Stockholm Convention. They are there. Policies, for us, we are very good at making them, by the way. But putting it into play is lacking.
So yeah, as you really highlighted about the funding that goes into these things, and also the education, as you say, like however much we are there, some people are not really doing their work to push them. So what is your advice to a general Ugandan like me, as we are creating this awareness to them to know, and maybe to help even those people where they work, how we interact in school, even their children to have this culture in them of eco-preservation and this living that this there's a saying you said about the planet, borrowing it. I've forgotten how you phrase it. I think you can also, that would be a good advice.
That's a quote by Chief Seattle. It is that we don't borrow the environment from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. You don't borrow, it's sustainability actually. This environment we are in today, whatever resource we are enjoying, we borrow from children. We have to give it to the children, and that will come later. But now to come back to how do we go about this issue of POPs, maybe. Me, I will say for you POPs majorly, that is, we need to first of all create awareness. If it's NEMA, as you're regulating, you need to look into how do you create awareness. Because if people are informed about what these chemicals are, what are their effects, what are their properties, how do they move, what we have been doing actually in this show. That's really important, you know. Yes, that's what I would really say. Awareness creation is what we really need to start with before the crisis comes. Yes. So
with that, I thank you for really going into the details.
Yes.
And helping a Ugandan who may not have, you know, we hate reading. I may not have sat down and read this NEMA report or these Stockholm reports, but at least this knowledge, giving it out there, would help someone there at least to change the way they behave.
The awareness, NEMA can even go to the YouTube, national televisions, our local channels here, and put some small adverts, you know, of what a POP is, creating awareness. Normally, that will really accelerate, mostly in Uganda. You go to UBC, our national television, you put that, you know. Yes, that's really it for that. Then also, as we are winding up, we need to really foster transition of the current status quo of produce, the way we do things, the activities we carry out, to cleaner production. I'm now advertising for my organization, by the way. Cleaner production. We need to now start doing things in a clean way. When I talk of cleaner production, I'm not saying you have to sweep or whatever. No. Cleaner production is just simply trying to reduce waste at the source. So that we minimize this waste, you know. And maybe we need to look into recycling instead of burning as of managing. You can look into recycling. How do you reuse this waste? How do you remanufacture it? At least we are trying to develop that side, but we're not yet there. We are not yet looking to support these people who are doing that work of recycle, reuse, you know, those waste management technologies. We need to look into those for now, because you cannot do it with plastics. They are everywhere, you know. But we need to see how to manage them in a better, sustainable manner. I really thank you for your time, for the information you are giving out there. And so in case people really are involved in this and engaged, we'll bring you back to dive more about even exploring other kind of POPs. I'll be very pleased to actually come back here on your channel.
So please.
Actually, let me do the closing. I should actually ask these people, please, for such initiative, you need to really look into subscribing and liking. Because I'm on this show.
Thank you for
Where will you ever see me? Where will you ever see me again?
And if they were to pay you, how will they get paid?
I don't know. Hey, you want to pay me? I'm very there. I'm there. Just come to Uganda Cleaner Production Center. So at least you have got his location where you can get him for more info. Reach out. Then on LinkedIn is also there. You can reach out to him and share more. So thank you, Mr. Saleh, for this time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. It has been good having you here.
At least somebody knows one or two things about the POP. I'm so delighted. Thank you so much.
That will be a good thing. Thank you, sir. We'll be having you anytime once these people say they need you back.